everybody. Thank you for joining in. I am Siddhi Jain from the Communication Management batch of 2022, and I will be your host for this seminar. We're gathered here for a live interaction with our alumni from the batch of 2019, Kadambari Zorkarkar. After specializing in advertising at SCMC, she joined the brand planning and strategy team at Digitas India, a digital marketing agency under the Publicis Group. She got the opportunity to work on brands like Nivea, Puma, TVS Motors, and more while shuttling across cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, and Pune. Almost 2 years and a truckload of insightful experiences later, she's now looking forward to her post graduation in marketing and creativity at a business school in Europe. Thank you so much, Kadamri, for joining in for this webinar.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I love how dramatic entrances on Zoom calls can be, but thank you so much for that introduction. I'm very happy to be here. And I really hope that I can be of some value to everybody that made their way here today.
Okay, so before starting off, a quick note for the participants. Please note down your questions in the Q&A section below, and we will surely get back to them at the end of the session. So, Kadamri, starting with a very basic but very important question. Tell us about your college journey at SCMC. When did you decide to pursue a career in the media industry and how?
Okay, that is a very might be sort of a long answer, but I will try. And I think I'll start with the second part of your question. So my parents come from a marketing and management background, and they took it up at a time that it was still a rather unconventional career pathway to take up. But somewhere towards the end of my years at school, we'd have all these interesting, conversations at the dining table about, dissecting case studies, thinking about what we do differently, sort of talking about human behavior on the whole, and just anything about like design and things like that. So that's kind of what piqued my interest. But it's also how I realized it's something that I'm good at. And apart from that, I think communication has always been a space that has interested me. So I just felt like the media industry would be a field that I could really explore, especially media and communication. But what within it and what it entails and what within it I'm good at is something that I was yet to explore and discover. And so I think discovery is a word that I strongly associate with my journey at SCMC, because especially at the beginning, we have all these foundational courses across our specializations of audiovisuals, journalism, public relations, and advertising. And that's kind of how I realized that it's marketing and advertising that I really, really enjoy. And not just that, it was also the precise roles that I would like to be, a part of and work for beyond my program as well. So yeah, I think if I had to summarize my journey, I think it was about discovery. It was about connections because, you're put into this pool of very brilliant people. All of your batchmates are, everyone's super talented. And it's also pretty, mind opening because you have all these realizations when in school it's mostly about theoretical learning. And then all of a sudden at SCMC, it's all applied. You're learning about the side of history that they don't teach you at school. You're learning applied economics in your first semester, things like that. So I think that really helped to open up just my worldview overall. And yeah, I think to end that, a lot of training to be industry ready, which in hindsight, I'm very, very grateful for.
Okay, for my family, the table conversations were all about maths. Let's not go there. You graduated just before the pandemic hit us. So you would have gotten the chance to see the industry both before and after. What were your major learnings in like the entire process? How did you adjust to the whole work from home scenario?
Yeah, a very, very interesting question. For me, I think it was half and half because for about 1 year, I was working from office and then about 10 months working from home. And initially, even though I was working out of the Bombay office, all of my clients were mostly in Bangalore. So I would always have my travel bag ready. I'd be off to the airport once a month, once or twice a month. And so I got like kind of like the best of both worlds because you need mentorship, especially as a fresher. And there's a lot that you can learn through observation, right? So I had all of that. And then in Bangalore, they have this amazing startup culture. Clients are very personable. And then in Bombay, you have all these, a lot of people, but also like a lot of ambitious people. So there's a lot of exposure you get there too. And I think that when the pandemic hit, all of us on the research side, so to speak, it was our first pandemic too, right? But all of a sudden, we're all scurrying, trying to understand how to help all our brands, and that's across multiple industries. And the impact was variable across all industries too. So all of us are just, jamming, trying to understand what the impact on consumer behavior, on habits, and all of that is. Putting together a plan of action for our brands. And it was because it was all, nothing could be predicted for the next year, for the next whatever. So we were taking it by, a month at a time. So yeah, but at the same time, I think it was also a very interesting challenge because you're in the thick of things, and we were the ones that had, like, you felt powerful with that kind of information. um, and it was interesting. It was an interesting opportunity, I think, because even as a digital marketing agency, we were now not just providing digital strategy, but also consulting clients on how to expand business operations digitally, which everyone needed to do finally towards the end. So yeah, and as far as work from home goes, I think so. Thankfully, the processes at Digitas and Publicis were pretty planned out and organized that way, so we felt taken care of. I even got like a Fitbit and everything. But I think I enjoyed it at the beginning, just being back at home and all of that. But I think a year in, you kind of realize the importance of physical environment. And even though I say, especially as a fresher, I think everyone, regardless of your hierarchy, can have something to learn through physical interactions, whether it's brainstorming together or just like sharing in the pain of a deadline or, things like that. I used to enjoy playing table tennis in office. So before anyone comes at me saying we don't want to go back to work, I just mean that I think there's a way to make it flexible. And I think those flexible plans will come into play now. But yeah, otherwise we also initiated like a culture club that I was a part of, and we managed to arrange a few cultural activities, talent shows, get-togethers, things like that online that could kind of help people stay glued together. So yeah, that was my experience.
And I mean, of course, we all have gotten used to staying in our loungewear, but with 1 year of online classes, I'd give anything to go back to college.
I feel
So now you're getting a chance to, I assume, get out of the work from home scenario since you're soon going to Europe for your higher education in marketing and creativity. So where are you headed? And was this always part of the plan?
Yeah, so the master's is an MSc in marketing and creativity through ESCP Business School. So they are the oldest business school in the world, and it'll start in London and it ends in Paris. But it starts in January, so I do have some time. And until then, I'm just taking a break, a much deserved break, I would like to add. And yeah, I think higher education, it was never not in the plan, I'd say. I mean, not at least actively. But I think towards the end of third year at SCMC, I was pretty sure that I'd want to work a little bit before doing my master's. Yeah, because after all the internships and projects that I did, I saw the kind of, like I got a taste of what it's like to get that kind of experience. So I wanted to spend a little more time understanding that. And I think I honestly would recommend that for people because for a multitude of reasons, it's kind of like the sweet spot because you're a fresher, and so you get a lot of mentorship. Not only that, you get a lot of time to kind of really explore the applied side of things, and going live with actual clients is it's a completely different ballgame. So it just makes your approach to thinking more structured and more realistic. So when you take all of that and then go pursue a postgrad, one is you'll probably be more sure of what specialized masters you want to do or an MBA. But even otherwise, just professionally and personally, a lot of growing up happens. So yeah, that's kind of why I think um, that's a better alternative. Yeah.
So you mentioned how, working and then going for masters helps in understanding what you should be specializing in. How did you personally decide for marketing and creativity for your masters?
Um, so I think it I can trace it back to I think a few courses at SCMC because um, throughout college I did have an inkling towards the courses like consumer behavior, digital marketing. We had advertising, creatives, and copywriting, and that's kind of where I realized because of how much work we put into it that this is something that I'm really good at and something that I really enjoy doing. Um, I I was looking for, I mean, one is that the country, because the place that, you go to study economically also, and even otherwise, it makes sense to land a job thereafter as well. And I just saw the curriculum and I thought it was too good to be true because it tick marked all my boxes. And I even said that in my interview. But it just, one was that they had a minimum work experience requirement, which I thought was great because that means that the peer-to-peer network and the value add would be more enriching as well. And they have all these pillars of it's basically strategy and marketing, but from a creative standpoint. And I really found that interesting because it's very applied, and you have all these interesting people. It's a super diverse program. And so, yeah, I just felt like there was this one gap that I needed to address, which was to do with business and management, and it seemed to be getting pretty filled at this program. So I thought that that kind of structure together would really make sense. Also, because I wanted to move from the agency side to exploring brand sides as well. If at agencies, you work with multiple industries, you get that kind of understanding. And then you also kind of understand what your personal ambitions are. So, so yeah, I really liked the curriculum at ESEP, and I thought that that would be a great way for me to segment into moving to the brand side. And yeah.
So you spoke about a curriculum that ticks all your boxes. So I'm going to rewind a little bit and ask you, how did your education at SCMC help, with easing your application process while you were just applying to the university?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so honestly, how did it not help? Because I realized that with all the internships and the projects that we did at SCMC, I've kind of managed to develop a portfolio that's not only diverse, but it's also it's across all fields with NGOs, with other kinds of agencies and all of that. So it's a lot of projects and internships and a lot of diverse ones too. So I think that helped me grow a lot and just understand what I'm interested in. And then because I had all those experiences and because I realized with the courses that we had at SCMC, consumer behavior, advertising, brand management, all of that came handy in landing my job after my undergrad as well. So then, and then I've just been connecting the dots all along. Yeah. And the cherry on top was Kavita ma'am's solid letter of recommendation for me. So I have all the love and gratitude for her for doing that. Yeah.
I'm going to chase her for that, and I hope I'm deserving of it. Now, you had a chance to work at many different places as a marketing intern, from animal rescue centers to cafes to big agencies. Did that entire experience help you find this niche?
Um, so it helped me discover when I enjoy work in terms of the environment, in terms of culture, in terms of industries and all of that, and what my value add looks like. Um, that's for sure. But I don't think I want to find my niche just as yet. What it did give me is an understanding of multiple industries, like I said, FMCG, fashion and retail, lifestyle, automobiles, all of that. And that was what my entire idea of working with an agency I thought would be like. And that's what I got. And after that came the desire to work directly with the brand. But now I'm more serious about pursuing businesses that are into sustainability. So that's something that I've arrived at personally as like a process. It's not something that I had thought of back then, but like I said, I mean, I think everyone has their own process, and it's not a one size fits all kind of situation. So yeah, sustainability is kind of what I want to work towards, and that's kind of my ambition for now. And I think we'll figure the rest out every step. Yeah.
Yeah, as it said, change is the only constant. You mentioned working with multiple domains, right? Like automobiles and fashion. So you worked with Nivea, Puma, TVS Motors. How's the experience and how different is your approach tackling each different domain?
Honestly, I think it boils down to the consumer and the culture they're in, and understanding the ambitions of the people on the brand end, which is your client as well. But I think the starting point is always the consumer and their potential cohorts. And then consumer insights come from, interactions, and then there's no better way to kind of to yield that. And then comes the whole brand universe, the purpose of the brand and how it meets the insight in an interesting way. So it's been a lot of, I think, empathy, because you have to like really get to know who you're marketing to and then paint a picture for them. But yeah, I think with each brand, you just kind of have to like shift perspective, because for example, Nivea is a very insight focused brand, and they believe in their product and they believe that it works and everything too. And once you use a bit of Nivea, you tend to convert to it, and I ended up doing the same. So it's always better when you're working for a brand that actually stands for something good or believes in, yeah, is doing something ethical. And so with them, that you have to, that this is, they're very set in their processes and this is how it must happen. So you shift gears accordingly. With Puma, they're a very young brand, Gen Z, millennials, all of that. And so that's where um, I got to kind of be the star in my team, because, you know, they'd always turn to Gen Z to understand Gen Z, and then a lot of questions are raised too. But I mean, yeah, that. And then with TVS, it was for my age group, but boys and like men. So a lot of research needs to be done. Once you get a good understanding of the fundamentals of how this target audience works and functions, what their life looks like. From then, it's just about staying updated with how behaviors are changing, and especially with respect to campaigns or specific their sentiment towards specific aspects in their life. So yeah, that's
So, continuing this conversation and moving more towards the industry side of it, how has the pandemic affected the digital marketing landscape?
right. Um, so I think that the digital landscape in India, especially, was in any case growing, but I think that the pandemic has seriously accelerated that growth. And I think that it's even sort of increased the age bracket of consumption, because now you see, nursery schools going live online, and then you see, say, the generation that has retired, or even look at your grandparents, they're probably more comfortable video calling you, or making transactions on, like, with respect to e-commerce online, even high involvement goods and services. So that has been a very big change, and I think that the bigger part of it is also a change in behavior and habits. Well, for example, if you take print took a big hit, right, with respect to newspapers at least, and subscriptions after the lockdown dropped. That doesn't mean that news consumption dropped, right? Everyone just shifted online and they consumed, yep. And then once things started stabilizing a little bit, it's a lot of people didn't really return to their subscription plan. So that's kind of how habits have changed a little bit, and that's how companies have also changed the way that they think, in terms of, one, of course, the flexibility of working remotely, but also looking at how they can expand businesses online and really just increase streams of revenue online. So that was another thing. And I think even traditional businesses or family businesses, local businesses that relied mostly on word of mouth, or their physical retail outlets, have also started considering digital more seriously. So yeah, I think that in general it was growing, but it's been pretty seriously accelerated now.
Yeah, and as you said, people are moving towards digital content and learning, the perks of it, the tricks of it. What can a digital marketer do to stay ahead of the curve?
Um, right. So, well, as far as say digital content goes, there is, I think, well, with pop culture, if you want to stay updated and be relevant to pop culture, you need to really be involved in it yourself. And for me, Twitter was that one place that I knew I would, even while I'm consuming my content, I knew that I would find out, and then 2 days later I'll see it on Instagram, and so that was one way of staying ahead. But I think otherwise, you have all of these news portals where you can consume things about trends. There are a lot of tools available online for your consumers. So, like I said earlier, once you have that basic understanding of your consumer, always being in touch with them to understand what their sentiment about one aspect of, say, a campaign, or what their thoughts are about it. That, and of course, because we're in India, and because sometimes we can be a few steps behind, at least with respect to technology, always being updated about what's happening internationally, globally, getting that inspiration helps. But while I mentioned inspiration, I think a practice that helped me was discouraging the usage of benchmarking too often, because like, if you're constantly referencing someone else's work, how will you ever do anything new? Yeah, how do you stay ahead of the curve that way? So yeah, that was a fun realization as well.
So, what are the tools, the skills that one must have if they want to be a digital marketer? You mentioned, there are tools out there that we can refer to. So, what exactly do you think a digital marketer should look at?
Right. So I wouldn't say that there's a definite set of skills per se, because you never know what comes handy when. But as far as tools go, I think um, knowing the media side of things, when I say media, I mean paid media and analytics, knowing that inside out is really, really helpful, especially when in conversation with clients, or even otherwise internally as well, because that's something that people aren't as aware of. And I'm saying that as a former brand planner and strategist, because you need to offer those, apart from consumer insights, a bit of an insight into this as well. And just because a lot gets traced measurability wise and all of that too, and just knowing how to target your audiences in the right way, that's very, very helpful. So I think being constantly updated with paid media really helps. Apart from that, you have a lot of tools for consumer insights, because when you're in a digital space, you're expected to be backed by data. That was the line of the century for a while. But yeah, so we used to use this tool called Global Web Index, and that gives you a deep dive into behavior segment wise and geographically anywhere in the world. So that again is very, very helpful. Yeah. And yeah, otherwise just like staying on top of trends and consuming content the way you do should really help.
Insights is one of the biggest tools on Instagram, which is helpful. So, speaking so much about the industry, us future graduates, how would you tell us to make the most of our SCMC journey?
Ah. Um, So with the hindsight that I have, and knowing the kind of hard work that you do at SCMC, sometimes it can be easy to lose sight of the value of what you're doing. So to really, you know, remove yourself from the situation, see what you're doing it for, and just really recognizing it for what it is super important. Just really jump at opportunities, because um, what I've realized is, because I've spoken to a lot of graduates now who have been looking for jobs, but because the job market is a little shaky right now, they're looking for internships too. And that's when I realized how lucky we were to have internships and projects be a part of the programs, that it's not like you're spending time outside college hours or after college. Yeah, it's all done for you, and you have all these hardworking placement coordinators that do all the hard work for you as well. So just really like recognize a good opportunity, and just go for it, because the more experiences you gather, the more value that adds to the value that you add wherever you go, wherever otherwise. So yeah, and otherwise, I think you guys are all a talented bunch. So just yeah, keep at it.
Thank you. What kind of experience should aspirants look forward to? All the aspirants that are watching this, what should they look forward to at SCMC?
Oh, wow. So I think at SCMC, the biggest takeaway for me was the way that we were groomed and trained to be industry ready. And at the time, at least in first year, I was like, hey, we're still like 19, 18. Why do we have to be doing this? But right now, from where I'm at, it has really speeded up processes for me and just structured my thinking in such a great way, because, and like I said, it's all connecting the dots, right? Like one thing led to the other. So yeah, I think that what you could really look forward to is if you're confused about what within media and communication it is that you're good at, don't worry about that, because with the way the program is divided, you will step by step kind of start realizing what you want. Some people even shifted tracks in second year and third year, so don't worry about that. And then even now, in fact, after graduating, that's the great thing, because you get such a good understanding across specializations that it's very flexible. And yeah, just the community, I think the kind of people, the kind of friends I've made, the kind of network that I've created here is a force to reckon with.
Okay, this was quite an interesting session. We spoke about internships, the industry, education, and thank you for giving us so much information, so much insight about all of them. So, we have some of our attendees asking questions. I will just tell them out to you. Oh, as we just spoke about changing paths, the first question is: is it easy or difficult to make career shifts from journalism to advertising once you graduate?
Um, so a lot of people have made the shift already, because, like I said, in your first year and even throughout your second year, you do foundational courses that do a bit of deep dive into each of these four specializations. So you do understand how it works. And then I think if suppose post graduation, if you want to make a career shift, there's always a good way to kind of make your way to a placement is an internship. And so, like I said, whether it's a project or whether it's an internship, go for it. And the great part is that you'll have your network of batchmates, seniors, super seniors, all of that, faculty, everyone's out there to support you. So it's very likely that you'll find a contact through your personal network itself. And yeah, I think anything can be done at any time. You're never not on time, you're never late, never early, you're right on time. So yeah, there's always a way.
Okay, and what about creativity block? How do you think we can get over it when we constantly have to, work with brands, work in the digital era?
Right. I think creative blocks and dealing with them are, of course, a very personal and subjective, require a personal and subjective solution. But what helps me is to kind of just go back to all my hobbies, whether that's music or whether that's art or just even stepping out, having a conversation with, talk to your family, talk to your friends, talk to strangers on the road. Just taking that time out to do something else completely. And even like the most menial tasks, like I will arrange my room, things like that. So you just have to find what works for you. And it's completely okay to take that moment. If you need an hour off, if you need 2 hours off, communicate that with, say, your seniors or with someone at work, and just take that time, and it's completely all right too. It's very natural. So yeah.
And the questions seem to be very interlinked with what we're talking about. You spoke about hobbies. So, do you think the co-curriculars at SCMC helped you in like any way in the industry, in, of course, getting a break?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I completely missed on mentioning extracurriculars at SMC. So thank you so much. I loved that we had all these clubs for like music, for dance, theater, and then again for your specializations too, which is kind of where you got to interact with not just your batchmates, but seniors, and also have some guests come in. And I like that it was all student led. That's kind of where, you develop a bit of understanding and leadership. And yeah, I think we had all these cultural events too with Madhyam, with Devidyan. People are so talented. It is so beautiful. And in my third year, I was music club head. So that again was an experience in itself. I really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, just being able to develop that sense of accountability and just a community, because SCMC already becomes a community, and then within that you have all these sub communities. So I love that you got to bring out all dimensions of you at in college, and not just make it about one thing only.
Oh God, we do miss Vidya and Madhyam.
Mm.
But since you mentioned you were music club head, there's a question that says, do you think mass communication studies could open the doors to the music industry as well?
Definitely. So I think even during my time at Digitas, I helped to write one of the songs for Puma's drop. So they have this big shoe drop for Puma riders, where they featured Sara Ali Khan and Zayden, and our creative director named Siddhi. She was the mind behind Proper Lady. She dragged me to the studio, and a bunch of us, some of my colleagues in the creative team, we wrote down the words to it, we composed it, and then I sang like the reference for it and everything. And that's how you develop contacts. Also, I met the people at the studio. They said, if if you're ready to do other things and voiceovers and things like that as well, let us know. And communication, of course, is always, I mean, that's key, right? So I think in network, it's all about networking, guys. Just go at it. Yeah.
Networking is key.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can't take more questions due to the time constraint. But Kadamri, thank you so much for taking the time to share your experiences with us. It was an interesting session, and I'm sure it gave us all a good framework for making the most of our college years. I'd also take this opportunity to thank all the attendees for joining in, and we look forward to providing you with many more informative seminars in the future.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love being involved with SCMC. So
Thank you. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you.
thank you so much for everyone that joined too.